She here from Golden Thread Tarot. How are you lovelies doing today? I'm here to bring you another channeled message. I hope this message is finding you blessed and full of abundance, okay? So I was really guided. I normally do it, I like have it off camera, right? I normally either have some incense or a candle burning, but I was really guided to light this candle and share it with you guys. Maybe it'll 2 down on the clock is when I said that. Okay, so maybe it will give something to you guys or have a little extra. This is a green candle. It's a wood wick candle, so it's one of those wood wick, like a crackling candle, so it'll probably be crackling for a little bit on camera as well. All right, it does have a huge flame when it first lights, or when it burns the whole way actually. And I love the smell of this. It's Fraser fir. Okay, non-sponsored or anything. But my grandma actually like randomly gave me this candle, and I was like, thank you. I was like, I needed a new candle, because my grandma's just like, she's so perfect on her timing. She's so connected to the divine. I love her so much. But it is a kind of Christmas candle. Has a very, it's an unusual smell that this candle has. It's a very kind of woodsy, foresty smell, but then clean at the same time. So it smells like somebody doing laundry in the middle of a forest. Like it's like the best of both. It's not like super like woodsy or mossy smelling, but it's still clean at the same time. I don't know. Like it's amazing to me. But I was really guided to share that with you guys. If you guys are looking for a new candle, especially if you like these woodwick candles, maybe that's for somebody out there, right? So let's light this with a good intention. I also have a heart chakra meditation playing in the background, okay? And I think that's going to very much so, because I've already got an idea about what we're going to be talking about. So let's go ahead and light this, set the intention for it. So I'm definitely setting the intention for this, that it's bringing in love, light, and abundance for us, for me, you, for the collective, right? And also helping us to heal our heart chakra. So I definitely, because we're going to be talking about trust. I really feel that a lot, okay? Let's go ahead and set this. Absolutely. Beautiful. Thank you, Spirit. You guys see? Look how huge that flame is. Do you hear that? You hear that crackle? I don't know if you can pick it up. Oh, I love it. I love woodwick candles. Not specifically that brand, but just like candles that have the woodwick, because, oh, beautiful. All right. So I definitely want to talk to you guys about building trust, okay? Rebuilding your trust is so important when you are trying to manifest new things and new energies and new people into your life, right? So I know that a lot of us have dealt with, we talked about this a lot, right, over the past few months, over all the towers, over realization that some people do not serve us, that some people cannot come with us. And in that, whether or not it's subconscious or whether or not you're very conscious of the fact that it can build this mistrust in your heart that, wow, the people that I thought I could trust the most were the people that were betraying me, or I thought that I could I thought that I could trust this person, but they betrayed me. So it can really negatively affect the trust that we have, whether or not it's conscious or not in us, right? And that pain can really affect us being able to manifest in good things, and also allowing those good things to come into our life, because we might get opportunities but we don't trust. Might get people trying to come into our life, but we're just like, I'm not in the mood, or no, I don't feel like it, or no, don't try to talk to me, because I'm not talking to the opposite sex right now, and I'm not talking to people that I'm interested in right now, so don't even talk to me, don't even come up to me. Or you can just energetically have that, whether or not on the surface or on the outside you're very much so like, I'm ready to move on, I'm ready to have much better friends, I'm ready to accept in soul tribe members. Energetically, you could have this shield or this guard up around you that does not allow good things to come into your life, because you are mistrusting, whether or not it's a very slight mistrust or whether or not it's a huge boundary that you're putting up around yourself. And I'm not here to tell you it's time for you to knock down your boundary, because I don't know what you went through, and you probably have it up for a very good reason, and I'm not saying that you don't, right? But I am saying it's time to start trusting yourself and trusting your discernment, trusting your intuition, and understanding that you're never going to be able to rebuild your trust in yourself and in other people without putting yourself out there and allowing people to start interacting with you, right? They're going to be, you know, putting yourself out there, allowing that person when you're out and about to come up to you and start talking to you, allowing, you know, people who want to reach out to you to reach out to you, right? But it is also about using discernment and understanding that you have faith and trust in yourself and your spirit guides. They're going to tell you if somebody is not meant for you, or also to give people time, right? To give uh, people time, to give people the opportunity to show you what their intent is, right? And it's so important in building that trust in yourself and in your faith and in other people, right? Rebuilding that faith and that trust in other people and allowing these new people to come into our life. It is so important in following that, right? Okay. So let's go ahead and pull in. That's just a little message that Spirit really wanted to talk about. It's something that I've been really working on in my shadow work, and because you guys are my collective, I know that there's some of you out there who are struggling with that as well. So let's go ahead, besides that little intro that Spirit wanted to have, and pull an oracle card from the Work Your Light deck and see exactly what Spirit. Oh, I'm also getting. I'm hearing Fool. I'm really feeling like for some of you, 555 down on the clock when I said that, somebody viewed you as a fool. Okay, and that could have created a lot of mistrust in you, to feel like you didn't have the support, or you didn't have the, you know, that when you needed to be supported the most, somebody left you, or somebody betrayed you, or somebody told you, you're a fool, you don't know what you're doing, especially along your spiritual path. And that can put a lot of subconscious mistrust in us, and a lot of fear. It can trigger our fears, it can trigger our insecurities within us, right? So definitely feel like you had somebody in your life that made you feel very foolish for making decisions that you did, that you knew inside of yourself were right. But we have to also understand that we're the only ones that are given our vision. Other people, although it is important to feel supported, it is important to know that at the end of the day, you have yourself. God has you, Spirit has you, the universe has you, your spirit guides have you, right? And that it is important to understand, to break away from the dependency of needing that support from other people, right? And I know it can be hard to say that, well, you know, like, I want my spouse to support me, or I want my family to support me with what I'm doing, because I genuinely need their support. If they don't support me, it's hard to do it alone. I get that, and I really do. Trust me, I do. Because I didn't have either, right? Well, he wasn't my spouse, but my long-term partner at the time, when I opened up to my spiritual journey, literally abandoned me and left me, right? They, so I understand that. I understand the pain that you go through when you have to let some of those people go and let them leave their life and let them go live their own life, right? So, but it's important to carry on regardless, right? Because those that do will be rewarded with finding themselves, right? And finding people that align with them much better than anybody that leaves your life, or anybody that's not there for you. That's a lot. You want all three of these? Okay. Look at this. It's on the back of the deck. Yes. Council of Light. Divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realm. Exactly. You see that? You see your spirit guides. You see your spirit guides and your ascended masters. Everybody like gang. Like, we got you. We got you. Okay. Look at this. So, Spirit wants me to pull this one first. Star Mother. How can you mother yourself? Like I said, for a lot of you, it was your friends, your family, right? People that were very close to you, that you wanted to have that kindness, that support, that you wanted to feel like, I'm finally walking in my truth. See me and acknowledge that and be proud of me for finally standing up for myself and finally being this person that you say you've always wanted me to be, I'm finally trying to do something that sets up that reality for myself. I'm finally trying to do something that sets up that stability for myself. And so many times in this journey, we can realize that the very thing that is giving us this sense of stability is the very thing that we feel like is pushing people away from us. And it can you can internalize that feeling of, well, there must be something wrong with me, or there must be something wrong with my journey, or I must not be doing it right. Even no matter how deep it is that you have to dig in and tell yourself, dang, like, I really did kind of feel that way, and it took me, like, I'm years into my journey to realize, oh, through doing my shadow work, through journaling, that I was like, damn, I did internalize that. I did think, well, there must be something wrong. I must be doing it the wrong way. And I wasn't necessarily connecting it to the fact that I wasn't I wasn't feeling the support that I felt like I needed. I was connecting it to, pressure I was putting on myself to do better, to be better for you guys, for myself, for my journey, for this purpose, that I found inside of myself. Work hard, push yourself, go, 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 do the work, be actively walking down your path every day, you know um and in doing this shadow work, I've realized, I need to have that kindness and support, and I felt like I needed to try so very hard, so that I could prove my worth, so that I could prove, no, like, I know what I'm doing. No, see, like, I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm being guided. Have faith in me, trust in me, when the fact was, I really needed to have faith and trust in myself. So a lot of you spirit guides are telling yourself, like, you might not have had that kindness, that love, that support that you felt like you had, like you felt like you needed in the 3D, right? And spirit is telling you that it's time for you to find that faith and that love and that trust and that support in yourself. 11:11 down on the clock when I said that, right? The time has come to trust your path, right? If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? Right? Well, you are being supported. To understand that everything that left your life left because it was not aligned, right? With this person, with this path that you're going on. It was not aligned with who and where you were going, who you were going to be at the end of this journey, who you are becoming, right? Share your voice, standing up, right? And being who you truly are. Taking yourself out of the shadows, taking yourself out of the cave, and being who you truly are, and not having the fear, right? To show that person, to trust your path, to trust where you're being led, to trust what you're going through right now, because it's all part of your past. You're not failing. It's all part of the journey. This path is going to have ups, it's going to have downs, it's going to have moments of shining glory, and then it's going to have times when you have to pick yourself up out of the dirt. That's just the way life is. And in those moments, that does not mean that you have been abandoned. That does not mean that you're being punished. That does not mean any of that. You were not being punished by these people not trusting you or not having faith in you. You were not being punished by these people, these friends, these families, these loved ones that were being taken away from you. It wasn't a punishment. And I know it's easy to say that, and a lot of us go, yeah, of course. But deep down inside, that child inside of us, that soul inside of us tells us, that ego deep down inside of us tells us, well, they must be abandoning me because I'm not worth it. And that's not fucking true. That is not true. Right? For a lot of you, these people were taken out of your life for protection. Okay? Your spirit guides were coming together gang to eclipse these things, these energies, these mindsets, these places, these jobs out of your life because they did not serve you. Call back your power, cut the cord, soul revival, right? You're cutting these energetic cords with these places, people, places, and things, and that doesn't make them terrible people that are wicked or anything like that. For some of you, maybe, right? But it just means they're people who can't come on this path with you. And at some point, you have to reach a level of acceptance where you're like, okay, not just on the surface, not just we're like, yeah, of course, but at the end of the day, and those times when you're sitting there crying crying at the end of the night because you're like, I just wanted that person to be here with me. It's okay. It's okay that you love them. It's okay that you wanted them here. It's okay that you thought that, that you thought that you were building a future with this person and now you're not. It's okay. Trust that anybody or anything that was taken away from you right now was taken to serve your greater purpose. And that doesn't mean that it won't come back in later. And that doesn't mean that when it comes back in later, it'll be to trick you or to hurt you, right? Sometimes it will, but sometimes it's not. It's not going to come back. And that has to be okay too. What you're doing right now is breaking, right? Breaking the chain, breaking these ancestral patterns and healing, right? That's what you're doing as you're coming out of the cave. You see how this person is finally here, right? You were in the cave, in the darkness out there, looking out there to this whole life. Finally said, okay, I'm going to stand up. I'm going to share my voice. I'm going to share myself. And see how this person's kind of like see-through because they're in their cave. They're unseen. And as you start sharing your voice and as you start walking out of this cave, you see, right? This person is dark and they get lighter and lighter and lighter. And finally here they are, cleansed out of this cave, right? Out of the shadows. Right? Spirit is asking you to take a leap of faith and to trust right here with her trusting and with this moon behind her, right? Trusting your intuition, trusting your guidance, trusting, your emotions and where you're being guided to go. Having faith, trusting your path. Right? And here, right, you're coming out of the cave because you were not aligned in that place. You're coming out of the cave, right? You're finding yourself, breaking the chain, walking away, right? Taking those leaps of faith, right? Because that's where you're going here, right? Trusting your path, following this path, coming out of the cave, finding a new path, trusting yourself to here, right? This new life, this new journey. And once you get there, you're asked to take that leap of faith. You're going to be asked to take this leap many times. Every step that you're asked to take along this path is going to be a leap of faith. Okay, Spirit wants me to draw one more. First, yeah. What did I say? Tower, the crumbling, right? Those towers coming and going in your life. Be mindful of what you're clinging on to, right? Ooh, look at that. Priestess. For many of you, that's what this gateway is leading to, right? For many of you, how are you being called to step up and lead, right? For many of you, you don't realize that you are forging this path forward here, right? And that there will be others who will be able to follow in your footsteps. And this could be just other people out there in the world that are inspired by you. This could be, your friends and your family that see, oh, I can follow in your footsteps after you. This could be future generations, right? You're forging a new path, breaking the chains, right? Forging a new path to be followed, right? That's what it means to break those chains, to break those generational curses. You're giving yourself and your future generations and your past generations a new path to follow, a new choice to be made. I don't have to keep my head down and just keep going and staying in that cave. There's actually a whole ass doorway, a whole ass opening to this cave that I can go through and go out of. I'm seeing right now the card that's in here, the initiation card, which is like, and it shows like what it looks like to be inside that cave, right? It's darkness with just the cave opening in the background. And it's the initiation, you going through this rite of passage, right? Going through the darkness to rise up above, renewed. Walking through this soul journey to come out, right? And to see this love and this light and this nourishment that you can give yourself. And that eventually when you're giving it to yourself, there will be others around you who will do the same. And along the way, as you're learning to give it to yourself, there will be people giving it to you as well. Ooh, excuse me. Yes. I was pulled. The answer is yes. Right? And then look, all right, I said there will be others. This is all also giving me mother, maiden, crone, like time moving past. Right? As you walk down this path. Stay grounded, get grounded, empaths, highly sensitive, connect with nature. Yeah, a lot of you need to spend more time out in nature, connecting to nature. If you guys are in a climate like I am that's turning cold, you know, and things, bundle up, still go outside or bring nature in. I've been bringing in a lot of my plants and things inside and spending time watering and taking care of them, you know. Same thing for yourself. Council of Light wants to show itself again. Wanted to let you know that this is all being divinely orchestrated, right, to be this way. Wow. This is so beautiful. Yeah. Just know that these towers are happening, right? It's all happening for you, not to you, right? Yeah. To get rid of all this devil energy, right? To get rid of this darkness, to get rid of codependency, to get rid of obsessive energy from your life. It's all happening for a reason. For enlightenment is what I'm hearing. Okay. Look at this. For, like I said, for a lot of you, yeah, high priestess, right? It's to bring in this priestess energy for you, right? To strengthen that for you. For a lot of you, it's about letting go of control issues, right? Letting go of some internalized misogyny or some toxic masculinity, whether or not this was exterior or within yourself. Within or without yourself, both, probably for most of you, because our exterior reflects our interior, right? Yeah, our exterior world reflects our interior landscape, right? So for a lot of you, it was letting go of not trusting your intuition, not trusting your guidance, being too controlling and trying to bottle up your emotions and set them up to the side, right? You might have been told a lot that your emotions made you weak, that you were out of control, or that you were, or you're crazy, or you're too emotional, or you need to calm down, or, you don't know what you're talking about. Or you could have had a lot of intuitive messages throughout your whole life, but other people, really rejected that, really told you, you don't know what you're talking about. No, no, no. I just keep feeling that feeling, right? Where you were really tried to be taught to really set aside your intuitive thoughts, your intuitive knowings. 23 down the clock. Because people wanted you to be like them instead of like you. I'm hearing scared. A lot of people around you were scared. You could have said things or done things that kind of uneased people, right? I saw that starseed card. I didn't say anything about it, but it was here on the back of the deck, right? Oh, look at that Pleiades energy, right? You could have said a lot of things. You could have done a lot of things that really made people feel uneasy because they felt the otherness or the difference in you. They felt the energy, this high priestess energy on you from a very young age. And that makes people uncomfortable to feel like you can know them better than they know themselves. You might have been the type of person that a lot of people told you when they had conversations with you, they felt like they were talking to somebody who was much older than you were. People might have looked at you and thought that you were much older. It's because people were reading your energy from a very young age. People have, looked at you differently. And then for a lot of you, your uniqueness really, because so many of us, when we're teenagers, when we're this, we just want to feel like we just fit in. We don't want to be unique. We don't want to stand out. We, a lot of us were like, I just want to be like everybody else. But you weren't like everybody else. And for a lot of us, once we reach, like in our 20s, we realize, oh, then we want to find our uniqueness, right? We spend most of our childhood and most of our teenage years just wanting to close down and fit in. And then we come about, in our later teenage years, in our 20s, in our early 20s, saying, all I want to do is stand out. All I want to do is be noticed, to be somebody different, right? And it's this weird roller coaster ride that our hormones and that our natural human development brings in us. Or at least for me, that's how it was. Some people, I know they want to stand out from the very beginning, but when I was a child, I really wanted to stand out. I really wanted to be heard. I really wanted to be seen. I really, I wanted to be that center of attention. And then throughout my childhood, I was told that was a bad thing. That was, that it was wrong. That me wanting to be that star, that natural, compassionate, that natural, very like kind of like Leo energy, which I do have in my chart, was kind of wrong. I was told that I needed to tone down, that I was too much, that I was too extra, that I was too dramatic, that I was too all of these things, and that just naturally being me just was a burden or just was too much. Some of you might have felt that way too. Or just natural, maybe you're the opposite. Maybe you wanted to be quiet and everybody was constantly pushing you to be more, to be more extroverted instead of introverted. Maybe you were very extroverted and you were told to be more introverted. That was my case when I was young. When I was a child, you're too extroverted, calm down. Then I closed down, and then people spent, most of my later childhood and teenage years and early like formative years telling me, now you're too introverted, stand out, go out, be out there, when it's like, pick a fucking lane, like which one? I mean, really, honestly, it's taken me into my adulthood to really find the balance between those two things, and to embrace a lot of that Leo energy inside of me, and very much so be like, I'm gonna stand out if I need to stand out, or I'm gonna learn to be quiet when I need to be quiet, So a lot of this is about that control, right? That control of, it's like this pushing and pulling, pushing and pulling, pushing and pulling energy without finding that grounded center, right? Helping you find that grounded center, that grounded middle, that middle way, right? Finding the middle way between both of those things, finding the middle way between, just who you actually really want to be. And coming much closer to, finding that middle way between what society says that you should be and what you want to be, and coming much closer to, this is who I want to be regardless of what other people think about me. But a lot of you were taught to control yourself and to control your environment through emotional manipulation in some way or another, and even just saying, hey, you need to calm down, or hey, you don't need to be so you, or hey, just how you naturally are is a bit too much. Here, get on this medication, or here, you just need to sit down, you just need to calm down, you just need to be quiet. That is emotional manipulation. And the intent behind it is not, I'm going to hurt you. The intent behind it is, I want to make you easier to control. It's still manipulation. It's still you, dimming yourself down to fit into the peg that everyone else, to fit into the shape of everyone else, of whatever, whether or not that's what society says they want you to be, whether or not that's what your family says they want you to be. Yeah, I just heard somebody say with this. I looked at this high priestess and says, you stand out and that's okay. You're different and that's okay. You're unique and that's okay. A lot of you spend a lot of time trapped in your mind, or trapping yourself in this Eight of Swords, keeping yourself small because you felt like you didn't want to burden, or didn't want to make other people feel uncomfortable by your presence, right? Oh, my presence makes other people feel uncomfortable. Oh, being naturally who I am makes people think that I'm weird or I'm too different for them. right? So let me tone myself down to fit in around me. And a lot of you are having to understand no. And a lot of this, trusting your path is understanding no. You don't need to tone down. Right? No, you don't need to quiet down. No, you don't need to dim yourself. Like I said in my reading the other day, no, their eyes will adjust. You do not need to dim yourself down. Exactly. Free yourself. Let go. Right? And more of that controlling with that magician in reverse. A lot of you did have people who, I really want to say subconsciously, maliciously controlled you. And I know you might be like, subconsciously. But yeah, some people, they don't realize. Some people are walking through life, saying, oh, that person needs to calm down, or they need to sit down, or they don't need to do that, and they don't need to do that, because so that's what they're doing. They think it's okay to feel that way, to impart their feelings and what they would do onto other people. And they don't necessarily do it with malicious intent, but they still do it, right? Maybe it was the way they were raised. Maybe just nobody's ever called them out on their shit. Maybe they just feel like, no, this way of being is fine for them, and that's their path, But that doesn't mean it has to be your path. There is this sense of letting go of things that were implanted inside of you. Letting go of all these layers, right? All these things all these mental ways, all of these ways all these compromises about your true self that you were taught that didn't end up taking you anywhere, right? That ended up planting more insecurity or planting more negative fruit for you than it did anything else, right? Every time we decide to compromise ourselves, it really, it takes away that feel, that the truth away from ourselves. And I also feel like this sense of impatience, like a lot of you, they just showed me the scene from Harry Potter when Harry puts the sorting hat on, and and he's trying to figure out what path he's taking, and the sorting hat is saying, well, you have this, and you have a lot of talent inside of you, and you have a thirst to prove yourself, you know. And that's what I'm getting from this Seven of Pentacles in reverse, is that a lot of you are like, I want to prove to these people and to myself that they were wrong, that I'm not too much, that exactly who I am is exactly who I was supposed to be. And I want to do that now. I want to do that right now. I want everyone to see that exactly who I am is exactly who I'm supposed to be. Right? But Spirit is encouraging a lot of you to understand that that will come when it is supposed to come, and that some people will never acknowledge that. They will recognize that on the inside, but you might never have those people, right? And those people, you might not ever be good enough for those people, or successful enough for those people, but it's not about them. It's not about getting their approval. And I understand it's a completely normal thing to want your friends or your family, or to want that person that told you, oh, you'll never make it, to be like, look at me shining now. Look at me all up here. You said I'd never make it? You were wrong. And I understand the egotistical want to do that. And I understand the want. And a lot of us feel a lot of us let that be our drive and our motivation, right? But Spirit is saying that for most of you, it's not going to give you, just to prove somebody else wrong, is not going to give you the satisfaction at the end of the day. At the end of the day, you're still basing your worth into the fact that somebody else acknowledges your worth. That you're trying to not improve yourself to just improve yourself, but you're trying to prove yourself to improve yourself, right? To prove yourself to that other person, to get some kind of acknowledgement of worth from somebody else, to prove them wrong. And Spirit is saying that for a lot of you, that's not going to be enough of a motivation, right? It's important to understand that it is important to have determination, motivation, without the need for competition, without the need to prove someone else wrong. That at the end of the day, you need to want to improve yourself for yourself. Because when you improve yourself for other people, you're going to get a sense of hollowness, a hollow victory. It's not going to give you what you want, what you think you want at the end of the day. It might give you short-term satisfaction of, yeah, they were wrong. But that would be it. They were wrong. That satisfaction won't last you for the rest of your life and won't continue to motivate you to continue on in the long term. Because in the long term, you will still always have to face the fact that you improved yourself for other people. This journey isn't about other people. It's about you. Now, I'm not saying that the people that, say, oh, let your haters be your motivators. I've said that before too, but there has to be some deeper form of motivation beyond that as well. Because we shouldn't be improving ourselves for other people or to prove other people wrong. For a lot of you, it will be much more satisfying if you do it to prove it to yourself and not to other people. Because for some of you, these very people are going to be the very people that are way too closed down to ever acknowledge your improvement. You could do all of this and say, see, Dad, I proved you wrong. And your dad could still be like, okay. And then where does your satisfaction go then? Then that leaves you. I did all of this to prove to them or to prove to that person or to prove to this that I was worth it. So be careful. Be careful using proving somebody wrong, especially people if they're never satisfied. They never went. They're not supportive. They're not going to be there for you. They're too controlling. They're too bottled up. You know. I just wanted you to finally be proud. That person could be proud, and you could have that moment, or they could not. Or what if they're never there in the end to see that? Then where are you left? A lot of you are being asked with this Four of Wands right here in reverse to wait. Let me start that. Let me rephrase that. A lot of you have been feeling a lot of like this unstable feeling, right? I just want to get my footing. I just want to feel balanced. I just want to feel at home. I just want to feel okay, right? I want to feel this sense of peace. I want to feel this sense of, at the end of the day, what am I fighting for? What is the peace that I'm looking for? Where's the stability? Where am I going to find it? Okay, I'm being guided. I was doing some journaling last night and I was asking myself about a moment. When is that moment going to happen? You know, when is that moment of me sitting down and being like, okay, yeah, I did it. Am I holding myself back waiting for this moment? Am I holding myself back by the thought that there will be that moment when I finally get all of the glory and gratification and all of the surface level things that I'm doing this for? I am doing it for a deeper level, but I have to be honest with myself that I'm not, like I said, what I said with this right here, right? At the end of the day, I'm not going to say that it wouldn't feel good to, have people that abandon me or have people walk away, see me doing well without them. I'm not doing it for that, but I'm not going to say that it wouldn't feel good. That it wouldn't feel good to be like, yeah, you should have believed in me because I did it without you anyway. And there is this sense of that moment. Where is it? When will it be? What will it look like? am I holding myself back looking for that moment? Am I taking focus off my journey looking for that moment of satisfaction? What is it that is going to give me that moment? What is it that's going to provide that turnover for me? I don't know, and I don't know if I'm explaining this right. But what at the end of the day will give me that satisfaction? Will it be a certain job title? Will it be when I look a certain way, when my house looks a certain way, when my job is at a certain level, when I'm at a certain pay grade, when I have, a husband or kids, or where will that moment be? Where will that moment of feeling like I'm satisfying myself really come from? What will it really look like? And I was trying, in doing this journaling, to really dig a little deeper beyond that moment of what is it that I really feel like I am lacking? What is it that my soul is asking me to develop so that I can have, so that I could be working towards that moment, so I can be working towards that deeper satisfaction beyond just surface level of what I look like and how much money I'm making and how stable I am? What will really give me that deeper soul satisfaction? What is it? What meditation? What diet? What diet in the way of what should I intake and what should I not? What mineral am I missing, or what, exactly that kind of. And not diet isn't trying to lose weight, but diet isn't just trying to improve the quality of food and the health, and my health in general. What is it? When is it? When am I going to find that thing? And I was asking myself, are you waiting for some kind of instant gratification? Is there something deeper to searching for this moment? Because I came to realize that I was searching for it. Well, what is that moment going to look like? Or is it really going to be a feeling of something deeper? And if some of you, if that's something that you're interested in, I might, put a little assignment out there for some of you. If it's something that you're interested in, of course, journal about that. When you have some time, sit down and ask yourself, am I looking for my moment? What is it that's going to give me that satisfaction? What is it? What goal is it that I'm finally going to reach? What, moment in my healing journey am I finally going to be like, okay, like, I'm getting there? Is the feeling of striving towards that moment keeping you stuck? Is it blinding you from what you're going through at the current moment? Right. And to say that it's fine to have a goal, to have a place that you're going towards, right? It's good to be asking yourself, what is my deeper purpose besides all of that other things, which are important. They're 3D things that we have to worry about. We have to pay bills, we have to have shelter, we have to have food. At the end of the day, what's going to give me that deeper level of satisfaction beyond having those things? Because there has to be something deeper than just having those things. What purpose am I striving towards? What lessons am I not learning? What lessons have I not learned in the past that I am being asked to learn in this moment? Is waiting for that moment in the future holding me back from striving for it right now? 44:38 down on the clock really stood out to me. Wheel of Fortune. Where is that point of destiny? Where am I being guided? Where is my compass pointing? For a lot of you, look up your natal chart, okay? And look up your north node. Look up what planet and what house your north node falls into, okay? Because that is what's going to help you know which direction you're striving, what lessons you're really striving. Looking up, for me personally, AstroSeek, it's free. All you have to know is your birth date, your birth time, and your birthplace. And they will, you put in those coordinates and put in that stuff, and it will pull up and look for your north node. Look for the difference between your north node and your south node. And in between those two signs is going to show you, is going to guide you towards what you should be striving to do, what lessons your soul is really being guided to learn in this lifetime, and where you will find that harmony and that peace. The Chariot in reverse, okay? And I'm hearing holding yourself back. Right after I just did that whole looking for that moment, is it holding me back? What is it that's holding you back from finding that? Identify what is it inside of yourself, or inside in your interior world, and also where your interior landscape is being mirrored in your exterior, right? To mirror back that hesitancy inside of yourself. What is what's holding you back? Sorry. Sorry, I had to laugh about it. I'm just like, why are you struggling? Right? Exactly. I can't even say it. What's holding you back? I'm hearing heart. For a lot of you, yeah, the answer lies inside. The answer lies inside. That's what I just keep hearing. Yeah. And for a lot of you, your answer also lies in your insecurities, right? Right, your fears, your doubts. Spend some time looking at those, examining those, asking yourself where they came from, and how you can really help build that. Because a lot of you, this lack of trust that you have comes from these fears, these doubts, these insecurities, these past pains, right? Which have caused these past pains, these past betrayals, which have caused these insecurities, which is causing your lack of trust and your lack of faith in other people and in yourself and in your path, which is what's holding you back. I'm seeing that in my deck. My deck that made that 444, fear is an illusion. For a lot of you, it's causing this lack of work on exactly the thing you're really supposed to be working on in this lifetime. Because it is triggering. When I looked up my North Node and I started doing research on it, I was like, that's what I had to do. I had to laugh at myself. I was like, pegged me. Pegged me so good. Like, ooh, I felt triggered. I felt my heart space. I felt like, I felt like being defensive. I was like, damn. got my ass, like got him, like yeah, no, that's how I felt. I was like shit. I was like yeah, that's very true, very true. Okay, so, but it made me start journaling about it. It made me start asking myself these questions, right? So find that motivation that you need from within yourself, right? That deeper need for satisfaction, because a lot of you are feeling this moment or feeling this need, right? Because your soul is asking you, learn your lessons. Turn your journey inward now on this part of your journey. Yeah, because it's what's creating a lot of lack of abundance for you guys, right? A lack of stability for you guys. It's what's creating these fears. It's what's creating this trap that's holding you back. What is that? The Page of Pentacles in reverse. And a lot of you are working on other things, keeping yourself busy, keeping yourself distracted, worrying about a loved one coming in or your loved one's leaving or finding your twin flame or doing other stuff to distract yourself. And I have to admit I've done it too, right? From what's really keeping you trapped. And you could be being super successful. You could be getting opportunities in your money. You know, you could be getting money and opportunities and jobs, and you're thinking, no, I'm doing fine. But on the inside, there is that sense of dissatisfaction in it. No matter how hard you're working for it, no matter how hard you're trying to prove yourself, improve this life, improve the choices that you're making. Why are you making those choices? What is your intent behind your journey? A lot of you are feeling dissatisfaction because, or feeling this boredom, or feeling this sense of this because you need to refocus on the real purpose of your journey. Because so many of us, hear, oh, well, this journey is going to turn into a business or it's going to turn into this. It is, but what's the intent behind it? Don't forget that at the base of that, it's not, God is not telling you, oh, creative, it's not about the money or getting a paycheck at the end of the day. Yes, those are very real factors in our 3D existence, but at the end of the day, it's about your soul growth. And it's about finding that soul growth and then finding a way to, for a lot of us, for many of us, it will be you like kind of monetizing that or doing that, but make sure that it's not about, at the end of the day, getting a paycheck. That some of us can get lost. I know I got lost in some part of my journey when I thought about, okay, I needed to turn my spiritual messages and doing this into a monetizing so that I could support myself, so that I could pay my bills, so I could do those things, and it took away a lot from my journey. And I've really been having to do a lot of shadow work and stepping back and realizing that I can't make it about that, because that creates a sense of lack. It creates a sense of, well, I want to go on this journey because I want, because I need to pay my bills. And that can't be the reason, you guys. Just as much as I can't go on this journey because I need to pay my bills, it can't be I'm going on this journey because I need to pay my bills. It can't be either one. That's going to end up keeping you trapped. And it's going to end up keeping you here, bringing things to an end that you don't want to come to an end. Because Spirit's going to check you and say, hey, why are you really doing this? Is it for a paycheck? We want you to be able to support yourself, of course, but you can't be doing it for a paycheck. You can't be doing it. There's nothing wrong with getting a paycheck while also doing it. But you can't get lost in that. Pairing last two. Okay. Yeah. Two of Swords. A lot of you have made a decision. A lot of you are doing this work. You're stepping back and telling and saying to yourself, "Ooh, okay, yeah." Which is what tarot is supposed to be, right? A lot of you, if this is your reading, you're nodding your head and yes, yes. Not just because you're agreeing with me, but because you're feeling this energy, right? You're feeling the need to take a step back. You're feeling the need to check yourself, to do that shadow work, to go inside and ask yourself, what am I really doing and where am I really striving? Where am I truly, where am I going towards? What goal am I working towards? It can't just be about a certain, a subscriber can't account. It can't just be about a certain number on my paycheck or a certain number in my bank account. It has to be something different. It has to be something deeper. And a lot of you are taking off that blindfold, right? That Eight of Swords. A lot of you are taking off that blindfold because you've made a decision to go to take this path in a different direction. I'm hearing applause, like your spirit guides are like, yes. Yes. Last card, please, Spirit. Of course. There is healing coming in this. There is. Oof. Oof. That's a personal message for me, and I'm just like, I feel my heart chakra. Okay. Many of you are going to be asked to focus on the things that you have been putting off. The very things that you don't want to focus on are going to be the very things that are going to be hitting the heaviest, right? The very thing that you're just like, I'll put that off to last, that's the very thing that Spirit's asking you to work on right now. And a lot of you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Those things you've been avoiding, Spirit's saying, you're not going to be able to put it off. It's now. The time is now. That thing that you haven't wanted to do, that letter that you haven't wanted to write, that issue, that trauma that you haven't wanted to face, that difficult lesson, that taking that class, that, admitting you're wrong or admitting your faults in something, that's exactly what you're being asked to do right now to move forward. And then for a lot of you, you're being asked to take a break. Right? Like I was saying, right? A lot of you have been working and working and working to distract yourself, and Spirit is telling you what they want most for you right now is to take a break. Some of you are something's going to happen. I'm not saying that you're going to lose your job, but some of you might take some kind of sabbatical. Some of you might be offered some kind of new position or new it's like a sense of leaving the area where you were and going to take time away to learn. Whether or not that's going inside, doing some kind of spiritual retreat, taking some kind of course, but you're being asked to leave what you're working on right now and to go and take an opportunity to learn something different, to learn something new, to dig in deeper into yourself. And that, it's kind of this weird juxtaposition of to work, you're being asked to not work. To work on what you really need to work on, you're being asked to take a break from what you're doing right now. And it might seem counterproductive, but Spirit is saying it's not. It's actually more productive than just, I'm just going to keep working through it. I'm just going to keep working through it. I'm just going to keep working through it. because there is this big sense of imbalance here. You're either giving more than you're getting in a situation here, or you're taking more than you're giving. For some of you, it's a bit of both in different areas, right? But there is this sense of you're not getting as much out of this situation. If you could, if you took a break, if you took a time to step back, if you took the time to do your research some more, if you took the time to further your education, if you took the time to learn this new skill or to do something deeper. And at one point you were being guided down this road and you went down and you chose a different path. Well, spirit is kind of looping you back around like, okay, you need this. You do need this. This is part of your journey. You need to do this. For some of you, I'm seeing you walking, like walking somewhere. And that could just be you going on a journey. It could be like an eight of cups kind of energy where you're walking away from something you've invested a lot of time, a lot of energy into, taking a short break off of something so that you can go. And it's kind of like, oh, I'm going to take a year off, or I'm going to take, I don't know if it's going to be that long, but it's going to be an amount of time off so that I can go find myself, so that I can come back renewed, so that I can come back with much more of a clear direction forward, because there is a sense of that whatever you've been working on right now, though it might be your path eventually, you have been using it as a crutch to distract yourself from what you really need to be working towards right now. Something non-traditional is what I'm hearing too. A lot of you have issues with breaking doing something very non-traditional, something that your friends or your family would be like, are you crazy? You cannot do this. And it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be that leap of faith moment, right? But it's going to be something that's going to help you ground. It's going to be something that's going to reconnect you with your deeper self, with your higher self, with your spirit guides, with, it's kind of like pushing a pause on what you're doing right now so that you can get a fresh restart. For some of you, it's like stopping completely what you're doing so that you can rebuild it from a much better foundation. But for a lot of you, it's just like a pause. Like, I'm going to pause this right now. I'm going to come back to it. But I've got to go find myself, or I've got to really find my center again, so that I'm not creating some kind of inferior product or some kind of something that's not truly who I am, because I'm creating from a space right now of distraction, or from illusion, or from, it's like, where am I? Right? It's kind of like this, you need to find out what you're doing and why you're doing it. So that you need to take a moment to step back to really say, why? Why am I doing this? What is the purpose? What is my intent behind this? Have I lost my true intent? Have I lost my original intent as to why I began this process, or why I began this journey? It's this very big sense of, I need to reground, I need to recenter, I need to find that true purpose. Because when you come back after you have found that true purpose, it will feel much different, right? You will be, the response or what you get back from other people will be much different, because the intent of what you are doing will be different, or will be redirected, or will be recentered, or refocused, honed, sharpened. Yeah. You feel that sense of lack right now because what's your intent? Like I said, for a lot of you, you're doing it, well, them, I'll prove them wrong. Spirit saying, in the long run, that's not the purpose of what you're supposed to be doing. Because in the end, you're doing it from a place of control. I want to control how people see me. I want to control what the outcome of the situation is. I want to control what this is supposed to be and who I'm supposed to be. And it's still this sense of break away, because if you're doing it to prove someone wrong, you're still giving a lot of your power to that person or to that energy or to those people. You're doing it for them, not for yourself and not for your journey. And you're not really breaking the chains. Okay, lovelies. That's what I have for you today. This was very interesting, very deep. I really appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for giving me your time. I really appreciate it. I really hope that this resonated or gave you some really clarity that you've been looking for or that you've been searching for. I hope this brought some peace to a decision that I know is either going to be presenting itself to you very soon or has already presented itself to you. It could be a decision that subconsciously you know, but you haven't been really acknowledging. Okay? Hopefully this helped bring it up to the surface for you. Hopefully this helped send you on a direction that will help you find this center. I am really wishing the best for you, okay? I am telling you to believe in yourself, to start making those little steps towards building your faith inside of yourself, and allowing other people to show you that you can have faith in other people as well. Thank you so much to my guides and your guides for delivering this message, okay? I hope this message finds you blessed and full of abundance. Let me know in the comment section down below if this resonated for you, okay? Let me know if you'd like to see more content like this, all right? If you're not subscribed, and especially if it resonated, please think about subscribing, okay? Especially if it resonated, please like or subscribe or share it with somebody you feel like it could really help. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much, lovely. I really appreciate you. Like I said before, thank you for your time. Thank you to my guides, your guides. Moving forward, I'm hoping for the best for you guys out there, okay? And don't lose hope. Know that you will find that these opportunities that you have been looking for, that you are looking, that you have been sending out the intention that you want, they are coming. They are coming, okay? Your spirit guides, they're here. They're listening. They know, okay? It's also about divine time and when things can set up and when things are able to come into your life, okay? All right, lovelies. Thank you so very, very much. I will see you guys in the next one, all right? Bye.